This is an awesome Vlogmas video. You're gonna love it. Gather round. I'm gonna tell you a Christmas story. A long time ago, your favorite YouTuber, or at least somebody you occasionally watch, that would be me, wanted to be a singer-songwriter. Turns out, I learned I couldn't sing. I mean, I can hold a tune, but I don't have one of those voices that people want to hear all the time. I get that. I don't want to hear my voice most of the time. And no, it wasn't too painful. I kind of knew that going into it. And then I wanted to just be a songwriter. I wanted to write clever little 3-minute jingles for whoever would sing them with a better voice. And it turns out that's a pretty competitive field.
Duh.
But in this video, what I want to share with you, the viewer, is a younger Bill Marion, 20 plus years ago, writing music. And a wonderful good time that I had with my own dear father, writing a song about his PTSD, his post-traumatic stress disorder that he had coming back from Vietnam. And it's just a little clever little song, and it's really cute. And I wanted to share that with you because these songs are over 20 years old. Besides, it's Vlogmas. And naturally, by sharing these songs, I'm sure I'm opening myself up for all kinds of ridicule and snide remarks. Just put them in the comments and hit the like button and be sure you're subscribed and say whatever you will about these contributions to the music world.
There are 4 gray walls and people in life, but are they really there? They move their lips, but I can't understand what they say, and do I really care? Maybe nothing's wrong with me, it's all in my head, Mr. PhD. And all these voices I hear with the visions that appear, you know they keep me company. 'Cause there are folks around here who talk to the walls, and no one seems to mind. I think I'll find me a door and converse with the floor. This Prozac is working just fine. Started out trying to reach the top, but I never did what I was told. No one there to help me up, they only offered the school some gold. As I reached the top, there was no one to stop me from falling back down. Call me a ghost you admire the most, I'm still picking myself up off the ground. 'Cause there are folks around here who talk to the walls, and no one seems to mind. Think I'll find me a door and converse with the floor. This Prozac is working just fine. So I've had some falls, and through it all, you know I get up every time. Get out of these and pick up the pieces and move myself down the line. If I look down at my failures, I never look forward again. So for today, I guess I'm doing okay. I even like this little place I live in. I just folks around here who talk to the walls, and no one seems to mind. I think I'll find me a door and converse with the floor. This Prozac is working just fine. Alright, we talking to 10 about the shape that we're in, and they turn out nice. They've asked for volunteers for experimental runs, and you know what, I just might. 'Cause there's folks around here who talk to the walls, and no one seems to mind. Think I'll find me a door and converse with the door. This Prozac is working just fine. Alright.
Actually, this is what really happened. I was going through my Google Drive, and it turns out I had uploaded these songs to my Google Drive like years and years ago as to not lose the CD version of those songs, which I obviously have. Actually, I had quite a catalog of songs that I had recorded in the little makeshift home studio, and now I've lost most of them, which is a shame. But thanks to the Google Drive, I still have these 2 songs. You know what I have done? I've written a whole song, several whole songs. Finish what you start. I think that's the main thing with anything creative that you go to do. I know nothing's ever really finished. You can always go back and add and make it better. But I'll tell you something, when you sit down to start something, it's really, really important to finish it. Even if it's not that great and you have to rework it and redo it 50 times, finishing a product is really, really important. One of the things about these two songs that I'm really proud of is that they were at least finished. Finished in the sense that I recorded them. They had a beginning, a middle, and an end. And for a lot of people, it's just hard to get past that beginning part. I mean, let's just face it, for a lot of people, it's hard just to sit down and try to write something. And so the main thing I would tell anybody, give it a try. I mean, the New Year's is coming. A lot of people are going to be having New Year's resolutions. Maybe it's even to start a YouTube channel of your own. Whatever it is, get started.
My kids playing tag in the ocean waves and running through their hair, you know. I wonder what will happen if fall and get hurt, and will it best if it grows or start their growth? So I try to help and hold their hand, but they wanna break free and start a running spree. And just when I think it's safe to let go, you know they fall in the ocean and call for me. Cause sooner or later we fall. Sooner or later I hear their call. Sooner or later we fall. And for me it's the same, and I take full blame for the way I live my life at times in vain. Knowing what's best but we put to the test, I just let go, give out and give up on the quest. I fight the flow since from peace to the gold, dazzling, immaculate, free. So I indulge the inner child too much. I'm ambitious but lazy and I think too much. But sooner or later I fall. Sooner or later he hears my call. Sooner or later I fall. And it was the same in Garden of Eden when Adam said to Eve, hey baby, what you need, you know. See how to laugh that day and he wore an evil grin. And God just replied, I know where they've been. You don't know my plan, you never have and you never will. And that's what got you fired, making guesses and assumptions about the role that you're in, and that's how it begins. See, these two are different, they have choices to make. I'm here and the tree is there, and I'm not leaving them today, tomorrow, forever, till the end of time. You're welcome very much, amen. Cause sooner or later we fall. Sooner or later I hear their call. Sooner or later they fall, and sooner or later they all fall. Sooner or later I hear their call. Sooner or later they fall. They fall.
So there's all kinds of things that we could say as far as the quality of those two songs. It was an in-house studio. I was doing the best I could do. I was playing all the instruments, so you kind of get whatever talent and skill that I had at the time in the studio. As far as being a songwriter, well, at 45, going on 46 here in March, I can pick both of those songs apart, roll my eyes, and identify cringe moments easily. And that's not just because they're my songs, because there's 20 years between, or close to 20 years. One of them not quite 20, but the other one definitely 20 or above. And there's enough time that's elapsed where I can actually be a little more objective and look at it and not cringe as much that most people do with their own stuff. No, there are times in the songs, either one of those songs, where I'm like, hey, that wasn't too bad. And then there are times where I'm like, oh, that's awful. What did I think what was I trying to say right there? The one song that Dad helped with there, Four Gray Walls, the first song on this video. Now that's a really interesting song. It's meant to be satire, entirely satire. It's meant to take a situation that he was in when he was experiencing some severe mental health issues, and he had to get help, and he had some situations and some moments that he wanted to kind of laugh about. And so he had jotted down these ideas on paper. He gave them to me, and then I was pulled an all-nighter one time up at his house in Detroit, and we banged out the song, man. I mean, we got the song out, and it was great. And sooner or later, I always have to say sooner or later they fall, because I always think of that Elton John song when I say sooner or later. It's sort of negative to me now, as at 45 especially. It has a darker tint to it. I mean, oh, you're inevitably gonna fail, and that's kind of what I feel when I hear that song now, and I just don't feel that way about the universe anymore. I think that you can be successful. I think my relationship with Christ probably plays into that. The lyrics are just too negative. Predestination, like the inevitability of failure. And where I do think humanity is inevitable that we fail. I do see that part of the learning process is failure. It's too negative, and I don't know if I thought I was the Blues Travelers at the time with the way I was writing the lyrics. I'm not sure. You know, when you try to think of radio play, that's not a song that I can hear being played on the radio at all. But it was a lot of fun to write, and of course my kids at the time, I was a single dad and I had 2 babies, and so I kind of filled in the gaps with them running on the beach, because they weren't actually running on the beaches just yet. One was trotting along the beach sort of, and the other one was still in diapers and barely walking. So it was just a moment that we were at the beach down at Cocoa Beach in Florida, and I just sort of filled in the gaps of what if they were running on the ocean, and I was a real paranoid single dad at the time. Thank God Carolyn came into my life and Crystal, or I think I would have been an absolute mess. The main thing that I would want you to get from this video, if you get anything at all, is that failing at songwriting, I never look at it as I failed at songwriting at all. I wrote songs. Now, I never got playtime on the radio. I never had some amazing star, country music star, or pop artist do any of my songs, but I set out to do something, and I did it. And that led to other things, and it built my confidence more and more and more to do other things that I do in my life outside of YouTube that are a lot more important to me than anything else. So to me, completing something, when you start out with something, you're creative, and you start it and you finish it, it's huge. Even if it doesn't appeal to anyone else, who cares? You did it. You had a goal, you put it down on paper, or you put it on canvas, or whatever your creative mojo is, and you got it out there and you tried it. And instead of just talking about it, or being somebody who may have talent and you're able to critique other people, but you never do anything yourself. You will respect yourself if you have goals and you set those goals for whatever creative adventure that you're going on, and you go after those goals. And a lot of times you have to put earplugs in for criticism of people all around you. Most of the people don't care either way if you're successful or not, and there are people in your closest circle that they'd be jealous if you were successful. So a lot of people in your inner circle, they don't have anything at all to gain with your success. So don't expect people, especially in your inner circle, to be real supportive. They're probably not going to be. Just count it. It's like, they're not going to be. Showing your friends and family some of the work that you do can be constructive, but it can also be negative. I think the main thing is to create something that you enjoy. Create something that makes you feel good, that makes you feel like you've accomplished something. You know, hey, I think the sky's the limit at that point. I think that's the starting place. But now seriously, I am curious to find out what you liked, didn't like, and be brutally honest. Remember, you're dealing with the kid 20-something years ago. You're not even really critiquing me. You're critiquing that guy. I would love to hear what you liked or didn't like about those songs. I'm just curious. It's been a long time. You can even pick apart the studio stuff as far as the music, because I believe that the music is so loud you can't even hear what I'm saying, and there was a miking issue. But lyrics and all that kind of stuff, I'd love to hear what you have to say down in the comments so that everybody can see it. You don't want to miss the Vlogmas playlist for all of the Vlogmas actions so you don't miss it. And you can just hit this little tab thing right here and it'll take you to all of those. Yeah, and now I'm just going to sit here and rock while the music plays and you make choices on the next video you want to watch.